All right, welcome everyone to this explainer. I am super thrilled to have you here today. If you really want to know what separates the amateurs from the absolute pros on the shop floor, well, you've definitely found the right place. Today, we're going to take what honestly might seem like everyday, mundane chores, and we're going to transform them into the ultimate craftsman's code. We're looking at a brilliant set of operational guidelines that literally elevate the entire technical process. So let's just dive right into this.
So think about this for a second. What is actually the most important part of any technical job? Is it the heavy lifting? Is it that awesome moment the sparks fly during a perfect weld? Actually, no. True mastery isn't just about the physical labor or the main event of the task. It's entirely about how you prepare, how you finish, and how you document the work. Because think about it. If your workspace is a total disaster and literally no one knows what you actually accomplished, did you really do a professional job? Today we're going to explore the three core pillars of technical professionalism: cleaning, storing, and reporting.
All right. Pillar number 1, keep it clean and safe. See, professionals don't just clean. We match the exact method to the mess. It's basically a tactical operation. Got delicate equipment? You hit it with compressed air so you don't damage any sensitive parts. Dealing with really tough, caked-on dirt? Okay, that calls for a water and detergent wash. If you just need to clear the floor, you grab a mop and a damp cloth, or maybe just use a dry clean cloth for basic dusting. We've also got blowing techniques for general tool and workplace clearing. Now for the heavy-duty stuff, chemical cleaning requires immense care. You're using hazardous substances to carefully remove dirt, so safety is absolutely paramount there. And finally, the wire brush. This guy is specifically utilized to prep welding surfaces or strip away rust and slag. The point is, every single tool has a highly specific purpose.
Now, when we handle the absolute most dangerous items in the shop, like welding equipment, the rules are strictly non-negotiable. You disconnect the power, you let it cool down, and you dry it properly. This isn't just a suggestion, guys. These are the essential steps required to prevent life-threatening accidents. You simply cannot rush this phase of the cleanup.
And the job is definitely not done the second the machine gets turned off. Waste must be disposed of properly, no exceptions. Plus, tools have got to be stored immediately after they're cleaned. Why? Because a clean workspace isn't really about aesthetics, right? It's about eliminating cognitive load so you can actually focus on your technical execution. Leaving an expensive drill out on a workbench isn't just messy, it's an accident waiting to happen. And honestly, it's money down the drain. Which naturally leads us to our next critical phase of the craftsman's code.
Moving on to pillar number 2, mastering storage and handling.
Okay, before you put anything away, you obviously have to lift it. If you're using your body for manual lifting, you bend your knees and you keep your back straight. It is fundamental, sure, but it's so often ignored. But look, we all have a physical limit. When you're dealing with really heavy loads, you don't play the hero, you use mechanical equipment. Bring in the cranes and the forklifts. A true professional knows exactly when to use their body correctly and when to just rely on heavy machinery to ensure their personal safety and keep those storage areas running efficiently.
So once you've safely lifted your materials, where do they actually go? Proper storage is what makes your tools last longer. You absolutely must store tools in dry, clean, safe places and arrange them logically by size, type, and use. You utilize all your physical infrastructure, the shelves, cabinets, racks, toolboxes, the whole shebang. But organization isn't just physical, right? It's visual. Labeling storage areas allows for instant identification. And safety is always layered in here. Keep your flammable materials far away from any heat sources, and keep specific components like welding electrodes in absolutely dry conditions so moisture doesn't ruin them. This right here is the blueprint for a highly functional workspace.
Have you ever heard the term FIFO, first in, first out? Just think about buying milk at the grocery store. You naturally reach for the carton with the soonest expiration date so it doesn't go bad, right? Well, that's FIFO applied to the real world. In the shop, it's an inventory method ensuring the absolute oldest materials are used before the newest ones. For materials that might degrade over time, pulling from your oldest stock first prevents waste, maintains strict quality control, and ensures that your materials are always operating at their peak specification.
So, what is the actual return on investment, the ROI, for all this extra effort? It is massive, because suddenly you aren't wasting 20 minutes searching for that one elusive 10mm socket. Proper storage guarantees easy access to your tools, better organization across the board, and significantly increased safety because those annoying tripping hazards are totally eliminated. It directly translates to saved time, saved money, and far fewer injuries.
All right,
The tools are stored, the floor is swept, you've followed every single rule of cleaning and lifting. So, is the job actually done? Well, for an amateur, maybe. But for a professional, not even close. We're now pivoting from the heavy, physical nature of shop floor work to the precise mental discipline of desk work.
Which brings us to our third and final pillar, writing the technical report.
A technical report is simply how we explain the work we just did in a clear, highly structured way. And guys, clear communication is just as vital as a clean weld or a perfectly organized tool rack. Think about it. If you fix a critical machine but you don't clearly document the problem, the specific parts used, and your exact solution, the next technician coming in is flying blind. You really have to translate all your physical labor into structured, useful data.
And just like we organize our physical tools, we've got to organize our information. The anatomy of a good report starts with the title page, establishing the basic facts, your name, date, project, and organization. Then, you've got the summary or abstract, basically a brief overview for anyone who needs to understand the entire report in about 30 seconds. Next is the introduction, outlining the core purpose of the work. After that comes the heavy lifting, the body. This is where you put all the granular details, the results, and your findings. You wrap the whole thing up with a conclusion that summarizes the effort, and finally, recommendations, where you offer your suggestions for future improvements. Honestly, organizing this information systematically mirrors the physical organization of your tool shop perfectly.
So how do you actually get that report written without a headache? You just follow a really straightforward 5-step reporting process. Step 1, collect your information while it's still fresh in your mind. Step 2, write the report clearly and concisely. Step 3, review and edit your work. Literally check it just like you double-check a measurement. Step 4, fill in the required organizational template so it matches your company standards. And Step 5, submit the report. Knocking out these sequential steps guarantees a professional and complete handover of the project, every single time.
And that leads us to Section 4, the professional's final step. I want to leave you with a final, really vital question. How will your workspace and your reports reflect your true craftsmanship after you clock out today? The sparks flying and the machinery running, that's just part of the job. Your true legacy on the shop floor is left behind in the spotless bays, the perfectly stored tools, and the flawless reports that guide the way for tomorrow. Take these 3 pillars, apply them to your daily routine, and just watch your efficiency and safety completely skyrocket. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep organizing, and I will definitely see you next time.